Today's morning coffee vinyl side, The Mystic Moods Orchestra, English Muffins, 1971. Most of us that inherit collections or pick up cast-offs and left-behinds are getting the remnants of collections, the skeletal remains of people's rich musical histories after the overused and worn have fallen away and the coveted and collectible have been picked through. We get the rest, the remainders. This usually means that the likelihood of finding anything John, Paul, George, or Ringo is slim. But what we do find often are Beatles-adjacent albums, albums of Beatles cover songs from every conceivable artist or grouping of artists under the sun. Big bands, jug bands, polka bands, Zither Ensembles, Indian classical ensembles, orchestral interpretations from obscure groups and countries, good, bad, ugly, bordering often on the bizarre. Because the Beatles changed everything. And as the world caught on and up to their genius and the incredible diversity of their song catalog, the Beatles left the field of play, and it was a free-for-all. The Mystic Moods Orchestra was an experimental music recording project that combined orchestral pop and conventional rock instrumentation with sound effects like rain, wind, clock chimes, and other environmental noise and sound to form a sort of easy listening space pop style of muzak that was supposed to add another spatial dimension to the listening experience. Listeners were encouraged to trip while spinning, and there must have been something to that because I ride pretty straight, and I find the whole aural experience pretty off-putting. Wind and rain sounds while muzak is playing on a dirty scratched-up vinyl is not my idea of a good time. English Muffins features a musical program of Beatles and Bee Gees hits from the 60s arranged together in a musical program that sounds very Boston Pops-ish. And although there are a couple of musical moments here that speak to the skill of the arranger, Roger Clements, the inclusion and integration of the sound effects is just a load of bollocks. A big, bouncy, and unnecessary load of aural bollocks. As a listening experience, specifically with morning coffee, to quote Randy Jackson, well, it just doesn't work for me, dog. I do note that the mind behind Mystic Moods was renowned audiophile and sound pioneer Brad Miller, founder of Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs. If this album hadn't annoyed me so much, I might have spent some time digging into his story a little more, because MoFi is an important company in the history of vinyl. For the curious, this album was reissued on the streaming services with an alternative title, Stormy Night in London. It's worth giving it a listen if you've never encountered this kind of thing before, but maybe do it with headphones on after a couple of glasses of wine or after indulging in your favorite herb. This ain't morning coffee fare, that's for sure.